Holy crap, guys. So Detroit is like an hour away from me, and Raw was here last night. I wasn't able to go. Totally sucks, but we got some great stuff out of the guys and girls. Let's talk about it. This is Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. Hello, all you pro wrestling marks and proud. What an awesome weekend of wrestling that we've had so far. We had Ring of Honor's 16th anniversary on Saturday or Friday. We had Fastlane, the best Fastlane I've ever seen, on Sunday. The review for that is up. You can check that out in the links and everywhere else. And then we had a great night of Raw. A great night of SmackDown. That review's coming too. Wow. I'm really impressed with wrestling right now. So great. Let's get started. This is Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. I'm Bryan Kelly. And March 12th, 2018, the WWE gave us Raw from the great state of Michigan and the wonderful city of Hockeytown, Detroit. They call it Hockeytown. I'm from Texas. I've lived here for a long time, but originally from Texas, so I can't claim Hockeytown as my own. I leave that to the people who have been here through it all. So, but it came to Detroit. Kurt Angle comes out to start off the show, and he does an in-ring promo where he says he's very grateful to be competing at WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey. And he says, with Ronda Rousey's pedigree, I feel bad for Stephanie McMahon and what Ronda's going to do to her. He said, I almost feel bad for what Ronda's going to do to Stephanie McMahon. And then he goes, but the person I don't feel sorry for is Triple H, because me and Triple H are going to throw down. I'm really looking forward to that match. I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ronda does in the ring. She wasn't at Raw tonight, even though she was advertised. And the reason that they gave was she had medical testing to do. I'm sure it has to do with the WWE or one of her movies maybe. But she had a scheduled medical thing that she couldn't get out of. She wanted to be there, couldn't be there. That's all right. We're going to see Ronda next week. We're going to see her for the next few weeks until WrestleMania. And then at WrestleMania, it's going to be amazing. So he says, speaking of WrestleMania, let's talk about the Universal title match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. He says, unfortunately, we all know where this is going. Brock Lesnar is not here tonight and will not be here tonight, to Detroit's dismay. He says, he goes, I don't know if he's sick. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he missed a flight. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he just, kind of making the excuses going, Brock just doesn't want to be here in Detroit tonight. So he says all of that, and then Roman interrupts his promo and comes out. It's like, what? So again, this dude isn't here? See, I told y'all, this guy doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about the universe. He has no respect for anybody. He said, if I didn't show up to my job, I would be heavily fined or at least suspended, which is probably true. I mean, kayfabe is kayfabe, but in actuality, if Roman Reigns next week or even after WrestleMania, one Raw or something, just didn't show up, just decided I'm going to get drunk and I'm going to lock my hotel room door and I'm just going to stay here and I don't give a shit, I guarantee you he'd be fined something fierce. So, but anyway, he says, if you didn't show for work, Detroit, you'd get fired probably, huh? And, he's trying to get the crowd behind him. There's still a core group. Dude, the core group of guys who hate Roman Reigns are never going to like him. They're just never going to like him. I'm going to do a video at some point about Roman Reigns and why I think, people feel the way they feel about him. I love Roman Reigns. I don't get it. I don't buy into any of that bullshit. But the guys, and it's mainly guys who hate Roman Reigns, are never going to like him. no matter what he does. You could CM Punk himself could come out and say, Roman Reigns is one of the best wrestlers that I've ever wrestled with, and I think he's great. I think it's unfair that people boo him. He's just a hardworking dude and blah, 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 blah. And people would still fucking boo Roman Reigns. It doesn't fucking matter. And it's just a core group. I mean, it's gotten way better. He has won over a lot of people. There are a lot more shirts, a lot more signs. There's way more cheers than there are boos. It's just guys' voices are boomy and frequency-wise resonate more. That's science. But the fact remains that there are those core group of guys, maybe 20%, 30% of the crowd of guys who are just going to boo him no matter what he fucking does. I was watching a podcast, one of my favorite wrestling video show podcasts, and the guy literally said, yeah, it was good and all, but Roman needs to have more bass in his voice. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Now we're going to start judging how much tenor the guy has in his voice? I mean, what the fuck? First, it was he couldn't wrestle. Then he wrestled Kevin Owens and Finn Balor and all of these guys who came out and went, no, dude, that guy can wrestle. And we all saw it with our own eyes and went, yeah, man, I guess he is pretty good. Then we were like, okay, well, he can't talk on the mic very well. And then he came out and started ripping on Cena, and they had that big promo, and Roman's gotten better on the mic. And it's like, all right, he's a little better on the mic, but now he needs a little more bass in his voice. It's like, do we hold anybody else to that fucking standard where every single thing they do, we just keep one to fuck upping them? It's fucking ridiculous. It drives me absolutely insane. Where did my scalpel go? Here's my scalpel. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's for another video. So Roman says, and Vince McMahon doesn't respect me either because I just walked past him and he didn't have the balls to tell me that Brock wasn't here. So obviously Vince doesn't respect me, and I can be disrespected by Brock Lesnar, but I can't be disrespected by a guy who I bust my ass for. And he does bust his ass, man. I don't care what you say. He does. Anyway, so he goes, I'm going to go back there and take care of this shit. So Roman heads to gorilla position right behind the curtain, and there's fucking Vince sitting there with Shane. Well, it's the son. I mean, he should be, but Shane's the SmackDown Live commissioner, so he should be with those guys. And Kevin Owens made mention of that on his Twitter. But anyways, and he goes, so you want to talk to me? You want to tell me what's going on? Blah, blah. And Vince is doing his whole, whoa, calm down. It's okay. Let's just take it to my office. Let's go to my office. Let's just go to my office. Let's just go to, excuse us. Let's just go to my office. He's like, all right, let's go to your office then. And Shane tries to interject at one point. He goes, I'm not talking to you right now. It's great. Roman's good, dude. I don't care. Y'all are just haters. He's awesome. Y'all are haters. I'll say it now because nobody's watching these anyway, but I'm going to put out a video that's going to be called the CM Punk effect. And that's all this shit is because CM Punk said, make Roman look strong on one podcast, and all you motherfuckers turncoated on Roman. You can go back on the WWE network and watch all of his appearances through the entire year of 2014 and the beginning of 2015 until that podcast came out in November of 2014, and it got circulating in all the YouTube channels and all the dirt sheets, and all these fucking people went, CM Punk said they really like Roman. CM Punk said they really like Roman. And then all you motherfuckers turned on him at the Royal Rumble and have never let up on it. And there's no fucking reason. You loved him before. You cheered him when he won the title. You cheered him when he punched Vince McMahon. But CM Punk said something about him, and you guys fucking turncoated on him. And it's kind of bullshit. You're kind of shallow people for doing that. But anyway, if you never liked Roman, that's different. If you were always a hater, then fucking A. Or if you just got kind of bored with him, I totally get that too. But not everybody in that fucking crowd just suddenly overnight got bored with Roman Reigns. It's bullshit. And not only that, but I've seen the videos my fucking self where people make fun of him going, make Roman look strong and blah, blah, blah. And that only came from one fucking source. One fucking source gave you guys all of this bullshit that Roman is Vince's guy. And that was CM Punk. He went on a podcast and said, hey, everybody, I know I'm your favorite wrestler, and I'm really sorry I haven't been on TV for 10 months, but you want to know why? Because of that guy and that guy, pointing to Vince McMahon and Triple H and going, and here's why those guys are assholes, and went through his whole fucking story. And then he said, oh, and by the way, do you know who those two guys really want you to like? That guy, and pointed at Roman Reigns. And all of you fucking CM Punk marks went, oh, well, fuck that guy then. We'll just boo him out of every fucking building until Vince gets the hint and brings back CM Punk. And it's never going to happen. The dude's a hard worker. He busts his ass. He's wrestled over 1,000 matches. He wrestles 200 matches a year. He loses to Finn. He loses to Samoa Joe. He loses to people all the time. He lost to Brock. He lost to Braun. He always takes a fucking loss. He lost the championship 3-way to Dean Ambrose. I mean, the dude, I don't know where this imaginary fucking push you guys are coming up with is, but it doesn't fucking exist. And that's a fucking fact. So anyway, Jesus Christ, I got a lot of that shit in there. But nobody's watching these anyway, so who gives a shit? Anyways, okay. So we go to commercial. We come back from a commercial, and we're standing outside of Vince McMahon's office. And I believe it was Renee Young who was standing there going, I'm trying to get a word with one of these guys, but there's been a lot of yelling and a lot of shouting, and I don't know what's going on. Oh, and Roman comes out, and she tries to get Roman to say something, but Roman doesn't even acknowledge her existence and just goes, woo, and takes off. Right behind Roman, Vince comes out, and Vince says, Roman got a little excited and everything, but Roman needs to remember the words of his cousin or uncle or whoever the fuck it is, The Rock, who said, know your role and shut your mouth, intimating he told Roman to know his role and shut his mouth, which sent Roman out of the building, kind of tail between his legs, which did not make Roman look strong at all. Oh, that's what he said. Roman said in the ring, too. He said, Brock Lesnar is Vince McMahon's boy. Vince lets Brock do whatever he wants, and I'm fucking sick of it. He didn't say fucking, but you get my point. So back to Vince. He's like, Brock doesn't respect people? Sure. Brock doesn't like people. Brock doesn't respect the WWE Universe? Probably not. Brock doesn't respect this. Brock doesn't respect that. Yes, but Brock has proven himself. Brock has earned his level of blah, blah, blah. He's allowed to do certain things. But then he said, and I will tell you that next week, Brock Lesnar will be here. There's, I give you my word. And then he says, and concerning what just happened with Roman Reigns and everything that just went down, Roman Reigns is suspended immediately. And that's why Roman left, I take it. So Vince disappears. Roman Reigns has been suspended, and we're off. Okay, now I'm not going to go into too much of a tirade on this because a lot of other people have already done it. But I will say this is where we get the first video package for the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale that's going to be at WrestleMania. Very simply and very shortly, Fabulous Moolah was a scumbag, and she doesn't deserve any type of memorial as far as wrestling goes. The things that she did to other women and the way that she kept other women down, and even the violence and things that happen. I mean, there are articles all over. Just Google Fabulous Moolah and read the things that she did to other women, and it's horrible. It reads like a horror story. The fact that she didn't spend any time in prison is amazing. So I think it sucks that they named it after her. I think it's bullshit. I will not watch it when it comes on. I will turn the network off and watch something else for 20, 30 minutes until I get on Twitter and see that it's over. And then I'll turn the show back on. I hope it gets booed from bell to bell. I hope the minute the announcer says, the next match is the Fabulous Moolah, I hope it gets booed out of the fucking building from that point until the bell rings. Because it's bullshit. There are lots of other really wonderful, hardworking, groundbreaking women in wrestling who did not expose other women and exploit other women and physically, mentally abuse other women. It's bullshit. She's a scumbag on par with. I'm not even going to go there. Okay. So anyways, up next, we get Sonya Deville and Mandy Rhodes standing in the ring. Absolution with Paige standing outside of the ring because they're Sonya is going to take on Sasha. So Sasha comes out with a very moody Bayley. I like moody Bayley, but she's a little moody. Bayley's arms crossed. Guess I got to come out here with Sasha, and I don't want to. She's a jerk. And Sasha's like looking back like, come on, man. No, you're a jerk. So hold on one second, man. Okay, edit that out. 16 minutes in, around 16 minutes in, talking about that. So up next, we get Sonya and Sasha versus each other. It's a really good match. Sonya Deville continues to impress me. I'm continued to be amazed by the things. I was not a fan of Sonya Deville in NXT, and when she got called up, it was really Elimination Chamber was the match where I really went, man, this girl is really talented. I love her character. Love the things. I don't know why it took so long for me to get it. But again, this week against Sasha, she did a great fucking job. Really, really good match. Back and forth, nobody really dominated anything. Mandy climbs up on the apron at one point to kind of go after Sasha. And when she does that, Bayley runs around the ring and pulls out her leg and sends her into the apron. When she does that, Sonya inside the ring kind of gets up to kind of go over and look after Mandy to see what just happened. And Sasha from behind hits that backbreaker into the bank statement. Into the bank statement. Gets her to tap out, but a good match. It was a little short. I wish it had been a little longer, but it was a really good match. After that, Paige grabs Mandy and Sonya on the outside, and they're watching because Bayley, as soon as the bell rings, Bayley goes, all right, fuck it, I'm out. And just turns around and starts to walk out while Sasha's like looking at her like, Jesus Christ. And so Paige, Mandy, and Sonya are kind of standing over there, and they're like watching, going, just wait till she leaves. And then as soon as Bayley ducks around the corner, they jump in the ring and just beat down on Sasha hardcore. And nobody comes out to save her. She just gets beat the fuck down. So that's how that ends. And then after that, we get a Kid Rock Hall of Fame package. Yay, Kid Rock's going into the Hall of Fame. Celebrity wing. Not a big fan of Kid Rock, but hey, man, good for him. I think this is all so that he can come out and do the American Badass theme for Undertaker, because Taker retired the dead man last year with Roman Reigns, but his American Badass character, I heard a while ago that was the character he wanted to go out on anyways. That when he first came up with that character in 2002, 2003, whenever it was, that's when he was going to retire off of that character. So maybe my guess is that's what they're doing with this. They're going to bring Taker back for Cena, but they're going to do it as him being the American Badass biker character, so he doesn't have to be the dead man anymore. And his fighting style can be a little bit different and change a little bit. I don't know if he can do the last ride anymore, but he might be able to. And that way at WrestleMania, they can have Kid Rock sing him out to the ring and do that whole thing. So that'd be cool. So after that, we get the Miz comes out from Miz TV. No Miztourage, and Miz explains why. Because the Miztourage has a tag team match later in the night against Sheamus and Cesaro. And if they win, they get to go to WrestleMania and take on or maybe it's a tag team championship match. I don't know. It was kind of confusing the way he said it. They didn't really make it very, very clear. So, but on Miz TV, he invites Seth and Finn out to the ring and says, "These are my next guests." He brings those guys out and he starts to pit them against each other. First, he turns to Seth and he goes, Seth, I'm very proud of you for your 96-minute match and all the things you've done, and especially for being in the ring with this guy who always kind of gets in your way. I mean, he was the guy who beat you for the Universal title. He was the guy who blah, 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 and just try to pit him in. And Seth goes, dude, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think we're stupid? I know what you're doing. You're not going to pit us against each other just so you can, whatever, get out of your match at WrestleMania, because I'm pretty sure it's a triple threat match at WrestleMania with The Miz. I'm not sure if they've even announced that yet. Maybe I get the two shows confused and what's been announced and what hasn't been. But anyways, and so he goes, all right, and he turns to Finn and starts to literally say the exact same thing. It's like, hey, man, it's nice you know, this guy's always in your way and always fucking with you. What's the deal with that? And Finn goes, Miz, I literally just sat here and saw you do the exact same thing with Seth. Do you think I'm going to fall for that? But it starts getting kind of chippy. He's like, you know, yeah, I did beat Seth for the Universal title, and then cut back to Seth, and Seth's like, you know, I can beat him whenever I want. And they start going back and forth and gets kind of chippy. And then they start in, yeah. And cause that is the match for WrestleMania, is the triple threat for the Intercontinental, because Finn Balor at one point stands up and goes, I don't have to wait for WrestleMania. We can do this right now in Detroit. Takes off his jacket, his blue. He's doing blue Balor tonight. And Miz is all smiling and happy. He's in the back going, yes, trying to get the crowd to yes up for him because he's got his way. He led them there, and they just kind of did it on their own. It was a really good segment. And after that, they start to go at, they stare each other down like they're going to start going at it. And then they kind of turn and look at Miz and go, oh, you motherfucker, you did get us to go at each other, didn't you? So they go for Miz. They knock Miz out of the ring. And when they knock Miz out of the ring, Seth clubs Finn in the face. And Finn hits the ground, and it's like, oh, Jesus, really? And then Seth jumps over the rope, starts to walk to the back, goes, we can do this anytime you want to. Anytime you want to. Finn's writhing. Miz is on the outside. Seth is walking up the ramp. After that, we have what I put down in my notes as tag team madness. So it was supposed to be a tag team match between the Miztourage, Bo Dallas, and one Mr. Curtis Axel against Ziba. But instead, all the other tag teams from Raw came out. Apollo Crews and Titus came out. Rhino and Slater came out. The Revival came out. The Club came out. Everybody came out, and everybody started beating up on Sheamus and Cesaro because they've been running around for the last few weeks saying that they have no more competition, that they've beaten everybody already. So that happens. They try to get some order. Sheamus and Cesaro finally kind of escape up the ramp. Like, what the hell was that? After that, we go to commercial. We come back from a commercial, and we've got John Cena coming out to the ring. And this was one of the best John Cena segments in a long time. And I like John Cena. I think he does great work. But, man, this was... If you did ratings for promos as stars, this was a 4-star promo, maybe 5. So, John Cena comes out, and he goes, you know, it's nobody else's fault. It's my fault. Road to WrestleMania didn't work out. I lost my matches. That's the way that shit goes. He goes, but I'm still going to WrestleMania. I'm just going to buy a ticket and be a fan. He goes, I could be sitting next to that guy. I could be sitting next to you. I could be sitting next to you. I could be sitting next to you. And then he jumps off into the crowd, climbs the barricade, and finds a fan with a full beer and goes, isn't this awesome? Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Takes a sip of the dude's beer. And there's a great picture of him taking a sip of a beer. And there's like a 12-year-old kid that's just like watching him. He goes, this is awesome. So I'm going to buy a ticket. I'm coming to WrestleMania and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to have a good time with the rest of you because it's WrestleMania. It's awesome. He's getting everybody hyped up for WrestleMania. John Cena is a promo Jedi, dude. He's amazing. He's amazing. And then he goes, you know, and I know what everybody, they start chanting, Undertaker, Undertaker. And he's like, I know. He goes, but, you know, if I don't have a way to WrestleMania anyway, and I got to buy a ticket just like all the rest of you, then what's stopping me from doing what I really want to do? I mean, if it's the people in the back that doesn't want me to do this, that don't want me to do this, then they'll just shut my mic off and go to a commercial when I start. So if I got to buy a ticket anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And he looks straight into the camera and spikes the camera and goes, Undertaker, I want you for WrestleMania. Crowd goes nuts. And then, holy shit, he tears into Undertaker, Mark Calloway. Boy, oh boy. He says, stop letting your ego run your life. And, you know, why are you, he says, you're just afraid because when you fail, you crawl away and hide. And when I fail, I stand up and smile and move on and get better. He goes, you're not too old. You're not too broken down. He goes, if you were too broken down, you wouldn't be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram account. Says, get over yourself, get over your ego, and have one more match with me at WrestleMania. Woo! Man, just cut him. Cut him. It was great. So, after that, we get the Bar backstage, having just been the shit kicked out of them by every member of the tag team roster, going, what the fuck was that? We wanted competition. We didn't want to get the shit kicked out of us by 16 dudes. What is the problem? And Kurt Angle goes, no. And then they say, you know what? Where this wouldn't happen? SmackDown Live. That's where this wouldn't happen. We're sick of it. We want to be traded to SmackDown Live. We hear that there's some superstar shakeup going on. We want to go to SmackDown Live. Imagine us versus the Usos, or us versus New Day. We've seen that. Or us versus any of these other teams that they named off. And Kurt Angle goes, I'm not trading you guys. That's fucking stupid. You want a tag team for your WrestleMania match? Fine. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a battle royal, a tag team battle royal. Last member of that team standing in the ring, that team will face you at WrestleMania for the Raw tag team titles. They say, fine. So then they stomp off. After that, we get a video package of Braun's Symphony of Destruction, where he destroys Elias, and Elias coming out and trying to run away, and Braun picking up the car and throwing him and crushing the piano on him and all that shit. And then we get a video package, or that was the video package, and then Elias comes out, ladies and gentlemen. Elias, and he's sitting in the middle of the ring, and he's got a neck brace on, and he looks real run down, and his licks are real kind of sad and melancholy. Bink, 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 bink. I'm playing the blues because I got my ass kicked by a dude 4 feet taller than me, and a piano dropped on my fucking head. So he's wearing a neck brace, and he goes, got one question for everybody here tonight. And then he doesn't ask it. He goes, this is all your fault. And then he walks off. Just walks off. That was the whole segment. He just kind of brooded and just kind of let them kind of soak up that he was not in a good mood. Also, earlier, after the commercial break between Miz TV with Finn and Seth, they announced that there was going to be a match tonight based on what happened earlier in Miz TV. So, coming up next, we got Sin and Feth. I don't think that's their names. We got Seth Rollins and Finn Balor going at it. These guys are so fucking good. In a perfect world and in a just world, they would both hold major titles for the majority of their careers. I mean, seriously. I'm not a proponent of the WWE misusing talent. I think they use their talent exactly how they're supposed to be used. I don't think that certain guys deserve certain things more than anybody else. I think everybody gets what they earn, essentially, in the WWE for the most part. But these guys are so fucking good. They're so good, they should be holding titles. Finn should be in the major title picture every single week, every single month. And Seth should be in a title picture every single week, every single month. Really great stuff. Lots of great falls finishes, lots of near falls. Check this match out. It's a 4-star match. Really great stuff. Maybe even 4.5. Hard strikes. Some hard, strong style hits. Superplex from Seth to Finn. Off the top rope, Seth pulls him up, superplexes him, and then tries to do that roll up where he does it again, or he does it into the power bomb thing. And as he goes to pick him up, Finn rolls him into a small package and gets the 1, 2, 3 and a win, clean as a whistle, over Seth Rollins. He's got your number, dude. He beat you for the Universal title with a busted elbow arm, and he just beat you clean in the ring again. So anyway, Seth stomps away mad as Finn celebrates. I wish those things would go the fuck away. All right. I'm sorry, I'm getting notifications on my camera because my camera is my iPad. And I tried to turn them off, but it didn't work. So anyways, Seth stomps away all pissed off. And then Asuka comes out to talk about WrestleMania and how she's going to take on Charlotte. And right in the middle of her speaking on that, or trying to speak on that, and that's not a thing on her language barrier, that's a thing on she was trying to speak on it, and then Alexa Bliss interrupted her and comes out with Mickie James and says, there must be a miscommunication gap, it's not your first language, and does that shit and says, but it's a good thing you chose Charlotte because you can't beat me. I'm better than you, and you suck. And Asuka goes, no, I chose Charlotte because to be the woman, you have to beat the woman. And I wanted to face a real champion. And she goes, I can beat you whenever I want. As a matter of fact, I've already beaten you. And I can beat you again right now. And Alexa goes, no. You are having a match now, but it's not with me. It's with somebody you have unfinished business with. This woman. And nothing happens. She kind of looks around and goes, your match is with this woman. And nothing happens again. And so her and Mickie kind of, I'll push her and then you hit. And so Alexa pushes Asuka, and then from behind, and then Mickie forearms her, knocking Asuka down, and then knees her to the face. And I guess we're going to have an Asuka versus Mickie match after the commercial. It was supposed to be Nia, of course. I believe that's who she was gesturing to. But Nia didn't come out. So it's Mickie. So we go to commercial. We come back from a commercial, and we got Asuka versus Mickie James. And people forget that Mickie James' first match back was Asuka in NXT. And what a fantastic match it was. I thought it was great. I didn't know if Mickie was going to win the NXT Women's Championship. I didn't know how long they were going to protect Asuka and do this with her. But Asuka, the story for this one is Asuka and Mickie are on the outside. Asuka goes to kind of kick Mickie in the face. Mickie ducks out of the way, and Asuka ends up racking the ring post with her ankle. So then Mickie does a great job working on her ankle and working on that leg all night long. Mickie does a sit-out power bomb from the top rope, which was dope on Asuka. But in the end, of course, the match was great, but Asuka rolls up an Asuka lock and gets Mickie to tap for the win. And as soon as the bell rings, Alexa takes off to the back. Doesn't even wait for Mickie. Mickie kind of comes to and looks around and goes, where'd she go? It's pretty good. So then we cut to the backstage area, and we've got Nia back there standing in a dressing room. First time I've seen a dressing room on WWE TV in a long time. She's standing in the dressing room, and Alexa comes out and goes, hey, where the hell were you? I announced you twice and you didn't come the fuck out. What's going on? And Nia said, Kurt told me not to come out because I have a match next. I couldn't come out and have a match then have another match. I'm doing what I'm told. She's like, oh, all right. Well, I guess that's fine then. You know, you're still not all fucking bummed out about last week, are you? And you losing to Asuka. I mean, you were a big disappointment to all of your fans and all of your family, but, you know, just starts doing that mean girl digging shit again. But ends up going, you know, I love you and you're my best friend. I think you're awesome. And Nia goes, yeah, I love you too, Bliss. Everything's great. Walks out, heads to the ring for her squash match against, and I apologize to the young lady that I didn't get her name, but she got destroyed by Nia Jax in about 30 seconds. And after that, we're supposed to have an interview backstage with Alexa Bliss, but the interview has been postponed. However, the camera and the boom mic have been left on mysteriously, almost GTV-like. And the boom mic is standing literally 2 feet from Alexa's head, and the camera's off there. And she's going, yeah, Nia's kind of a jerk. And she starts ragging on Nia, and Mickey's there with her. And they start doing that backstage girly, cackly shit. Mickey's got a towel on. She just got her ass kicked by Asuka. Going, yeah, I know. She really thinks I love her, and she really thinks she's my best friend. And I just use her for my own gains. And Nia, you know, you should see the looks I get when I walk through the airport. She said it's like walking through the airport with Shrek. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, yeah. So she does that. And then Nia is watching all this on the screen because everybody in the audience and everybody on TV can see this because the camera's left on. And, of course, as I said, the boom mic is 2 feet from Alexa's head. And she just didn't see it, I guess. And Nia's seeing all this and going, what? And Nia finally, and oh, yeah, that's right. Then Charlie comes backstage while Nia and Mickey are talking and goes, hey, I just wanted to let you know, Alexa, that the camera was on and this boom mic that you're standing right next to has been on the whole time. So everybody's heard everything you just said, including Nia. And Alexa's like, really? We gotta go. We gotta go. So her and Mickey start packing up shit, and then Alexa go, we don't have time. Let's just leave. So Nia in the ring is like, fuck yeah. Just freaks out, starts walking to the back, and she stops and gets on the ramp, and she wipes one tear away. And then looks up with that mean on face like, I'm gonna kill a bitch. Walks backstage, starts throwing, walks into the same dressing room she was just in, starts throwing clothes around, throwing shit around, ripping suitcases in half. Where is she? And she's like, she left. And and just walks out. And that's how that ends. Very cool. I like it. I wish they wouldn't do the body shaming thing so much with Nia because I'm sure a lot of that is true, but maybe that's why it works. So after that, we get a Hardy Compound video package talking about the Ultimate Deletion, which will happen next week on Raw, and I can't fucking wait. Remy's going to be in it. King Maxwell's going to be in it. Skarsgård's going to be in it. Vanguard 1, Senior Benjamin. I'm sure Jeff, they filmed his stuff, so I'm sure he'll be in it as well. All at the Hardy Compound. The Lake of Resurrection or whatever it's called. Dude, reincarnation. This is going to be great. I cannot wait. I hope they give it a half hour. I literally hope they give it a half hour. Fantastic. They show that video package, and then Bray does a response in his smoky back room. He's smoking ribs back there, I guess, and talks about Bray, what's his name again? Broken Matt Hardy's a liar. And I'm going to break him. Blah, 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 blah. After that, we get Kurt Angle backstage talking with, I don't believe it was Dan Angler. I can't remember the referee's name. It's the blonde guy. And I get Chad something. I think his name's Chad. But he says, hey, man, I need you to be at the Hardy Compound for this Ultimate Deletion thing. And Chad goes, Did I do something wrong? He's like, no, man, I just need you to do it. We need a ref there. It's, it's kind of a match, I guess. So we need you to be there and make sure that these guys both make it back to Monday Night Raw the following week. The ref says, all right, I guess. So we go to commercial, and after that, we get the Bar coming out to the ring because we're going to have a tag team rumble match to decide who is going to take on Sheamus and Cesaro at WrestleMania. All the tag teams are in the ring already. The Bar comes out and heads over to commentary and is sitting at commentary. And earlier in the night, Braun Strowman cut a cell phone promo where he says, I'm not going to sit around and whine about a road to WrestleMania. I'm going to carve out my own road to WrestleMania. So, cut back to all these tag teams in the ring getting ready to start this tag team Royal Rumble, and Braun's music hits. What the fuck? Everybody's going, what? This can't happen. Can this happen? Sheamus and Cesaro on commentary going, this isn't right. He's not a tag team. What the fuck is going on? Braun makes his way to the ring, and the ref is like, dude, I can't. You're not a tag team. You can't be part of this. And he goes, ring the bell. The ref goes, yeah, okay, sure. Ding, ding, ding. And they ring the bell. Braun immediately eliminates Apollo Crews. It's a Royal Rumble. It's too much to keep really track of. At one point, they get Braun on the outside, and they gang up on him and beat him down with some stairs to take him out of the match for a while so they can start eliminating everybody else. But it comes down to Braun and the club pretty much. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And he fucking knocks Gallows out. And then Carl Anderson gives him a couple of good kicks and a couple of good knees and is about to try and knock him over, when Braun takes him and just throws him into the ropes, and then grabs him and screams. It was one of the greatest things on Raw I've ever seen. He grabs him and screams, I'm going to WrestleMania! And then takes him, walks him across the ring, and tosses him overhead onto everybody else who has already been eliminated, and wins this tag team battle royal to take on Sheamus and Cesaro at WrestleMania for the Raw tag team titles. What the fuck? Okay, well, that totally makes sense, and I get it, and I like it, and I think it's fucking amazing. I don't know if Kurt Angle's going to make Braun get a partner over the next couple weeks. If Braun's going to walk out of WrestleMania with the tag team straps only to be taken off of him the next night by AOP, that'd be dope as fuck. But that's awesome, dude. What a great Raw. I loved it. I didn't like the Mae Young thing. Like I said my piece on that. I love Roman, and I wish people would give him more of a break. Everything else is great, man. I loved it. I thought it was a great Raw. It's shaping up to be a fantastic WrestleMania, man. I cannot wait for this WrestleMania. I think it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be great. So, if you guys want to get a hold of me on Facebook, you can do so at Calling Spots Podcast. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, it's Calling Spots Pod. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, it's Calling Spots Podcast, or Gmail at callingspotspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you very much. I'm Bryan Kelly. This is Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later for SmackDown Live from Indianapolis. Yeah, from Indianapolis. All right? Never be ashamed to be a pro wrestling mark. I'm not. I love you guys. Peace.